Motorsports 360 is back in your life. Motorsports 360 is back in your life, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another brand new episode. I apologize if you're having trouble without introduction music. Having some technical difficulties around the studio. But we are here. Our legal IDs haven't been working, so I have to say them myself. So WGCC FM Batavia, 90.7 FM. We got a good show for you today on Motorsports 360. Today on the show, the panel and I will be discussing the Dover weekend, talking about the overtimes we always do, and then we're previewing the weekend at Texas. If you guys want to be a part of the show, just hit up the YouTube chat and tell me what is on your mind. So let's get to our usual business. Here is your panel for tonight's show. We have Michael Kelly.
Trust me, I'm a scientist.
We also have Jake Rogers.
Kill me.
And then we have Cody Smart.
Hello, YouTube and radio world.
Alrighty, so let's get right into the show. So let's talk about the Cup race first. A very interesting Cup race. Many drivers hitting the wall at the Monster Mile. Oh yeah, by the way, I will mention. Hopefully, Kelvin joins us soon. He's not in the studio at the moment. Hopefully, he comes. So let's get to the recap. So lap 62, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hits the wall. He's done for the day. Then on lap 66 on the restart, Brad Keselowski and Kurt Busch wrecked together after Kurt Busch gets loose in turn number 2, takes out Keselowski. Kurt Busch would later blow a tire on, destroying the rear end of his Haas Automation Chevrolet. Lap 257, Landon Castle involved in an accident, done for the day. And I will mention this, Jimmy Johnson having a little bit of problems with his race cars, and we're nearing green flag pit stop, so he decides to stay out so he can try and get a caution, and then he did. He came in, however, though, he did get beat by Ty Dillon and Ryan Newman. Ty Dillon would actually end up leading for a total of, if I can find it on here, where is it? Where could it be? Oh, it should be right here. Dillon led a total of 27 laps in that race, so good for him on that. And it looks like Kyle Larson had the win in the bag, but with 4 laps to go, a caution comes out for David Reagan. That leads us to our restart. Now, with the restart, we have a rule called the overtime line. There's a specific line marked on the track where the drivers have to cross to make the race official if we do go into overtime. If they cross the line and a caution is called, the race is over. But if they do not cross the line and a wreck does happen, the race is still on. And we crossed the line, and then a big wreck broke out with Ty Dillon, Eric Jones, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, Trevor Bain, etc., etc. A huge wreck. Yeah, Chad, are you alive? Says Jake Rogers. We have 3 viewers right now, and no one's in the chat at the moment. No, I'm just kidding. We usually have someone in the chat by now. But anyway, we crossed the line that Jimmy Johnson ends up with the race win after Kyle Larson spins the tires or messes up his restart, giving Johnson the lead and the win. Kyle Larson will finish second. Your top 10, Ryan Truex Jr. third, Ryan Newman fourth, Chase Elliott fifth, Daniel Suarez sixth, Jamie McMurray seventh, Denny Hamlin eighth, Kevin Harvick ninth. Danica Patrick rounds out the top 10. Even though she did miss a wreck, we do want to give her a round of applause for that one.
I refuse. I will never.
I refuse to.
Do you want to give
Just
a
so
round
you
of,
know, we have to panelists not a fan of Danica Patrick.
I do want to give a round of applause to 2 people, by the way. Ty Dillon, who led 27 laps in the race, was a contender up front a lot of the day. And I do want to give a round of applause to Ross Chastain in his debut, finishes 20th.
I will clap to that.
How about Ryan Sieg? He also did
Okay, Cody,
somewhat
after
good in
we're
his
done recording.
debut.
We got 26th.
That's out of the 83 team, is it? I know I might be wrong on this.
It
But
is
isn't
the
that the best
83
finish
team.
out of 83 team? It is.
So far this
No.
season.
So yeah, so far this season, not ever, not ever. The best finish was 6 with Matthew Benedetto at Bristol.
Oh, congratulations, Ryan Sieg.
All
Oh, I
right,
get a full-time right next season.
now let's go to the Xfinity Series race, which also happened at Dover. On lap 7, an accident involving Ryan Sieg and Brendan Gaughan happened. And then lap 28, Ryan Reed and Brandon Jones were involved in an accident. I believe Brandon Jones and both Jones and Reed were done for the day. If not, it was just Jones. And then we had another accident involving Austin Dillon. Then lap 43, an incident involving the 13, if I can find it, that's Timmy Hill. Conclusion of stage 1, your top 10 was Larson, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney. Who was the 20 again this weekend? Was it Eric Jones, if I'm correct? Was it? Guys? Hello?
What?
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
It was a bushwhacker, that's for sure. It was probably
Yes.
Eric Jones.
Yeah, it was Eric Jones.
Who? What? What did Eric Jones do?
Top 10 for stage 1. William Byron, Brennan Poole, Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Hemrick, and Ryan Reed. And then we head on to stage 2. Your top 10 there were Bubba Wallace. Props to him on that. That's his first stage win in NASCAR. Followed by Ryan Blaney, Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Daniel Hemrick, Brennan Poole, Blake Cook, and the 14 of J.J. Haley. The top 10 in the race were Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, Cole Custer, Ryan Reed, William Byron, Elliott Sadler, Bubba Wallace, Matt Tifft, and Ty Dillon. Now we get to the
Not to mention William Byron won the Dash for Cash
yes
this weekend.
won
Oh, Elliott
$100,000.
Sadler, Bubba Wallace, and Brandon Poole.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we get to the Camping World Truck Series race, which also happened at Dover. Very interesting race we had overall this weekend. Your stage 1 top 10 were Ryan Truex, Chase Briscoe, Jesse Little, Johnny Sauter, who's the 18? Noah Gragson, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, Justin Haley. I almost said JJ Haley for a moment. Also, John Hunter Nemechek, and who's the 46? Todd Gilliland, that's what it was. Then
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to see sponsorship on the 97 soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And then stage 2, your top 10 were Matt Crafton, Ryan Truex, Ben Rhodes, Todd Gilliland. The 19, I forgot who that was. Let me look here. See, I got to be prepared more.
Cindric.
Yeah, Cindric. I forgot Cindric was in this. The 19. Jesse Little. Then Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, Johnny Sauter, and Kaz Grella. At the end, Sauter took home the win. Grella was close behind in second, followed by Grant Enfinger, Ben Rhodes, Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones, Regan Smith, Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, and Ryan Truex. Now we get to a double-header weekend in Detroit for the IndyCar Series. How about Graham Rahal? He goes from 15th to 6th in the standings. Huge props to Mr. Rahal for that. Dominated both races that weekend. Joseph, and I only have the stands from race 2 at the moment. Joseph Newgarden was 2nd, Will Power 3rd, Takuma Sato, your Indy 500 champion, finished 4th. Simon Pagenaud 5th, Scott Dixon 6th, Alexander Rossi 7th, Charlie Kimball 8th, Elio Castroneves 9th, and Tony Kanaan rounds out the top 10. Alrighty, now let's get to the headlines of the weekend. Alrighty, so Bubba Wallace, even this bad and good news for Bubba Wallace. We'll start things off with the bad news. The bad news is the Roush Fenway number 6 with that car that he drives is suspending operations because they don't have a lot of sponsorships for him. But the good news is he will now be driving for Eric Almirola while Eric recovers from his back injury he suffered at Kansas. Bubba will be driving the 43 for the rest of the season until Almirola is able to come back. So good for Eric Almirola himself. NASCAR is revealing some loose wheel issues from Dover. We had 2 loose wheel issues that happened over the weekend. The Truck Series, Chase Briscoe lost a wheel, and then Kyle Busch lost a wheel in Sunday's race. And I believe, if I am correct, it was both the left rear wheels that came off. And if they do get penalized, which we will find out tomorrow, the crew chiefs would most likely be suspended 4 races, as well as similar punishment for the tire carrier and tire changer due to improper installation. Some scary news, actually. Jimmy Johnson posted on Twitter Monday morning he had basal cell carcinoma, which is a form of skin cancer, removed off of his shoulder. Basal cell carcinoma is a cancer that grows on parts of your skin that get a lot of sun. It's natural to feel worried when your doctor tells you that you have it, but it's the least risky type of skin cancer. As long as you catch it early, you can be cured. So let's just do our public service announcement already. Kids, wear sunscreen. This has been a public service announcement from 90.7 FM.
Did you mention that he's okay?
Yeah, he's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Nothing.
okay.
Yeah, he'll make it.
I just want to make sure you mentioned that so people weren't worried.
Yeah. Post-race on Sunday, a 43-year-old man who police have identified as John Infante of Greenwood, Delaware, was arrested Sunday after climbing the fence during a NASCAR race in Dover. This took place around 4:58 p.m. on Sunday and was captured on live television and numerous Facebook and Twitter accounts. He's seen sitting on top of the curved portion of the fence, at one point dangling his right leg over the track as cars drove past. Hoffman said private Dover Police Department spokesman Master Corporal Mark Hoffman said private security personnel contracted by Dover International Speedway coaxed Infante off the fence, which is in turn 4 of the racing surface. The spokesman for the raceway said the race continued uninterrupted during the incident. He faces charges of second-degree trespass, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest with force, and offensive touching of a law enforcement officer.
Here's another public service announcement, kids. Don't drink alcohol.
Yeah. Danica Patrick's future
At least in the underage.
Danica Patrick's future. Oh, what were you saying?
Well, don't get drunk. You can have a beer every now and then. Don't get drunk.
Danica Patrick's future at
And please don't drink till you're 21, please.
Yeah, please, seriously. Anyway, can we get back to what I was saying now, please?
Yes.
No.
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay.
Danica Patrick's future at Stewart-Haas Racing is uncertain after the 2017 season. Stewart-Haas Racing and Danica Patrick are reviewing the options about whether she will continue on as a driver for the team after this year. Patrick is signed with Stewart-Haas Racing through 2018, but there are clauses in her contract that could see the relationship end after this year, and the sides are discussing their choices, sources said. Patrick's nearly decade-long relationship with GoDaddy that spanned back to her time in IndyCar ended after 2015, and Stewart-Haas Racing has run into challenges securing primary sponsorship. Nature's Bakery earlier this year backed away from its 3-year, $45 million deal after 1 season. Roger Penske, team owner of Team Penske, said he would like to bring Ryan Blaney, who drives the number 21 for Wood Brothers, into the Team Penske fold as soon as possible, adding a 3rd car to his Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series team. Penske was asked if it could happen next year. He responded, could be. Penske fields 2 Fords in the Cup Series with Brad Keselowski in the 2 and Joey Logano in the 22. This weekend, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was expected to drive an Exalted paint scheme with the Philadelphia Eagles promotion ship on it. However, though, the Washington Redskins fan got a break because he will not be driving it this weekend. The NFL has a rule that says that this is off of NFL's policy. Let's see here. It says that club marks cannot be used in connection with the promotion or presentation of another sport. So I believe, if I'm correct, this weekend he'll just drive a classic Exalted scheme. On Tuesday morning, the first piece of steel was installed for the new grandstand structure at Phoenix International Raceway as part of a $178 million project powered by DC Solar. The team featured a special message, Best Wishes from Daytona, signifying a symbolic passing of the torch from Phoenix Racing's partner facility, Daytona International Speedway, which also recently completed Daytona Rising. Sadly, if Calvin was here, he would probably be crying at this. But unfortunately, Great Clips will be ending its deal with Casey Kane at the season's end. The company has exercised an option to end what was announced in 2016, a 2-year extension to sponsor 10 races a year through 2018. However, though, it will leave Hendrick Motorsports needing an anchor sponsor for the 5-car for 2018. Farmers Insurance already had decided not to renew its 12-race deal after the season. So it seems likely that Casey Kane could be leaving Hendrick Motorsports after the season if they can't find sponsorship. There will be a legendary new driver on the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series grid on June 10th and 11th when the European NASCAR Series will stop at Brands Hatch for the second event of the 2017 season. NASCAR champion Bobby Labonte will make his debut at the wheel of the #1 Whelen Engineering Ford Mustang, fielded by Alex Caffey Motorsport. This will be the first time a Monster Energy Cup Series champion races in the Euro Series, further underlining the strong ties between the Euro NASCAR and the American NASCAR and the continuous exchange of drivers between the two continents. It will also be Labonte's first race outside North America. And if I'm correct, he will be racing our legendary favorite driver on Motorsports 360, Alon Day, in a Dodge.
Ooh.
In a Dodge.
And a Dodge.
Watkins Glen International is close to announcing its new title sponsor for the Cup race. Watkins Glen President Michael Printup says his organization is close to making a major announcement. From 2013 to 2016, the Cup Series stop at the Glen was named the Cheez-It 355 at the Glen, but last year's event, Kellogg Corporation decided not to return for this season. Anyway, that does it for our headlines. We'll play if our thing works, a college announcement real quick. So we will be right back. And I don't know why it's not working. So I guess we'll just we'll just say you heard it in your car. You heard it on the radio, but now you can listen to it on TuneIn. So yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason our manual stuff on Audio Vault is not working at the moment. So I think I'll just talk with IT about it once the show's done, if they are still here. All right, let's get to our favorite segment on Discussion Time. And, well, I just said it. It's called Discussion Time. So the first question is, let's talk about the overtime line. So we had a little bit of controversy over the weekend regarding overtime line procedures. No one was talking about Jimmy Johnson's win. Everyone was talking about NASCAR. Can we please change the overtime line? So the question for you guys is on discussion time. How could you change if you are the leader of NASCAR? How would you change the overtime perspective? Michael, we'll start off with you.
Well, to be completely honest with you, Marty, I don't see what was wrong with what we had before. So if I were going to change it, I'd just go back to what we had before because honestly, I thought it was working great.
So you say go back to 3 green, white checkers.
Exactly. What's so hard about that? It's easy to understand for fans. I mean, it still gives a little bit of excitement. Half a lap of racing, and then it's just over.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go to you, Jake.
Mine's the same thing, but it's a little more complicated. I say just use the overtime line at restrictor plate tracks because they're so, or at least tracks that are over 2.5 miles long, or 2.5 miles or over, and just have just 3 green, white checkers. And yeah,
I will
mention
mention
that idea.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. does a Periscope stream every post race, and he said that he believes that NASCAR should get rid of the overtime line except for the 2.5 mile tracks. Let's go to you, Cody.
I agree with Jake, but I would only use the overtime line at Daytona and Talladega, and I'm not 100% sure about Indianapolis because they're trying to make it look like a restrictor plate race, but I don't think it's going to be all that successful, to be honest. So as of right now, I say only use the overtime line for Daytona and Talladega. Everywhere else, we should do a green-white checker because this overtime thing at not restricted plate tracks is getting a little ridiculous, to be honest. They should probably change it next year.
Okay, here's what I believe. Okay, so another NASCAR league. Well, it's like a younger league of NASCAR called ARCA. We talk about it from time to time on our show. They have an overtime procedure where they do not finish under the caution flag. If the leader takes the white flag, they will do a restart with a one-lap shootout. So, in my opinion, I believe we should just do the overtime formats similar to ARCA. If we don't, I believe we should keep the line. However, though, we change it from an overtime line, from a 2-lap to go line, to a final lap line. Here's what I think we should do. Depending on how long the track is, so let's take Daytona, for example. You put the line in turn 2. If they cross the line on the final lap and a wreck happens, the caution will not come out until the leader finishes the race or the winner finishes the race. And also, if they do not cross the line, a caution would come out ending the race. So, for example, if we took the Christopher Bell wreck in 2016 at Daytona, the Truck Series, where he went barrel rolling, then the race would have ended. If we're talking about the big wreck from 2017 that took out the entire top 5 on the final lap in the same league, then I would say they would have probably been able to race back to the line, but once the winner would have happened, the winner would cross the line, which would probably have been Casgrella still. Then you could have had you would have had a caution come out. So that's my perspective on it. Next question for you guys is, so Jimmie Johnson, he has 3 wins this season. He is on a tear so far, despite the fact all the wins he's not won any stages except for the 3rd stage. So my question is, how many wins will Jimmie Johnson get overall in his career? Because he did tie Kerry Yarborough with, I believe, 83 wins, if I'm correct. And will he get his 8th championship? Jake Rogers, you are first.
I feel like he might reach around at least 90 wins for his entire career because I only see him racing for one more season after this season is over. Probably retire after the 2018 season. As for 8th championship, it doesn't seem likely.
Okay. Cody.
Let's see. It depends on the situation here. If Jimmie Johnson keeps on winning the way he is, he might at least tie Jeff Gordon at the end of this year. So I'm going to say he will, and this might be a stretch, but I feel like he is probably going to get somewhere close to how many wins Bobby Allison has. Now, just to ask, how many wins does Bobby Allison has? Is he at like about 125 or something?
Let's look it up on how many wins does Bobby Allison
doesn't he have the same amount as DW?
I think so. In the Cup Series,
who's the second to most
Cup,
winningest driver?
It's David Pearson. He's got like about 109, I want to say.
He's got like 120 or something like that.
But Bobby Allison has 84 wins.
Dang.
Whoops.
Dang, Cody, what you trying to say here? You saying Jimmy's washed up?
Oh.
David Pearson.
Sorry. But sorry. I didn't thought it was him.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bobby Allison that had the second to most wins.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Okay, so David Pearson. Okay, sorry about that mistake. Derp alert in 3, 2, 1. Derp! That's actually a term that we use in another friend's talk show of mine, which would be both the NRA podcast, which is usually on Mondays at 5:30 on YouTube, and the Elijah Gordon talk show that is usually on Saturdays, I believe, at about 7:30. Be sure to catch those on the YouTube world. And yeah, back to the wins. Now, I'm pretty sure due to sponsorship issue, Hendrick might want Johnson to be there for at least the rest of the decade, which that could be pretty surprising to most people. If we have that, then I see Jimmy Johnson being the third winningest NASCAR driver of all time. And I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere between, say, 105 and 115. I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch David Pearson. But I think he will have enough time, however, to not only become the third winningest driver of all time, but also give Hendrick enough time to sponsor a car up for William Byron, which I'm pretty sure he'll be the new fourth guy.
Well,
instead of Casey Kane.
if Casey, yeah, I was gonna say Casey Kane from him because he does have that Liberty University sponsorship, which most likely he would bring over if William Byron does successfully capture a Cup Series championship. But we will have to see if they keep Kane for one more year, they might put Byron in the 25 like they did with Chase Elliott.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's also Justin Allgaier who could come up to Hendrick Motorsports.
But yeah, like
that'd be tough. Because
based out of the car rankings, I'm going to say the 5 would go to Justin Allgaier and wait till Jimmy Johnson retires and have William Byron replace him. Because William Byron's pretty much as talented as him right now.
And then we could all agree.
Wait. William Byron is as talented as who?
And Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, right.
I mean, let's take a look.
You're comparing a rookie in the Xfinity Series to a 7-time champion in the Cup Series. Come on.
I mean, can we look at this first off?
I mean by at the rate.
All right, let me mention this. And even though Jimmy Johnson or William Byron, William Byron does not have a win in the Xfinity Series yet. Can we just mention how many wins he got in the Truck Series and compared to how many wins that Jimmy Johnson got in the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series combined?
Okay, how many wins did Jimmy? I don't even know how many wins he got in the Xfinity.
He just got one, and that was at Chicagoland in the Xfinity Series.
Okay, that's the Xfinity Series. That's the Xfinity Truck Series. The Cup Series is the top level in racing.
And he can make it up there.
Oh boy,
he can make it up there.
I think it just started a debate. I think it just started a debate.
Hey! I feel like you guys are starting to say that I don't think William Byron can make it. I absolutely believe that William Byron is going to make it. I think he's going to be a champion of our sport one day. But comparing him to a 7-time Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion, come on.
You should be like Stephen A. Smith and be like, that's blasphemous.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Oh wow! So championships, okay.
83 wins. So 83 wins as well, Cody.
Championship. I'm not sure if he's going to become the new king of NASCAR this year. I see him becoming the new king of NASCAR probably within the next 5 seasons. One in the next 5 seasons. Here's why. Because we're beginning this trend of new drivers doing really excellent here. You see Kyle Larson up there. You see Eric Jones and Daniel Suarez climbing up. You see Chase Elliott catching up. I mean, this is crazy of how many young talented drivers are here competing for these wins and could potentially compete for the championship. Like, I see Kyle, as of right now, I see it between Kyle Larson and Martin Truex would win the championship. One of those two.
Because they have the most
Larson and Homestead, he could potentially win the Homestead race.
Because of the high line.
Yep.
Yeah, that high line will definitely work for Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson's gotten better at running the low line, too.
Yeah, he's pretty much
if he needs to run that low line, he can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Kyle Larson's definitely have something under his butt, fire under his butt or something from Chip Ganassi over there, that's for sure. Probably having the same luck as Scott Dixon from last year. So let me get this one straight. Kyle Larson will most likely win the 17 championship as of right now. And then I'm pretty sure Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, they'll learn from their rookie years, even though Chase Elliott's in his sophomore year. Those guys will catch up to our stars like Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, all those guys. And they'll compete for the championship. Like, for the champions for the next 5 years, here's how I'm seeing it. This year will probably be Kyle Larson. Next year it'll probably be Truex. Or actually, one of the next 3 years I see Truex winning the championship. I see Keselowski winning his second cup. I see Chase Elliott eventually winning. It doesn't look like it right now, but I bet he'll win.
Guys, I feel like we're getting off
And
topic
so
with
on.
this.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Continue.
okay, so like from the champions right now, I don't see Johnson winning immediately. Like I see as of right now for projected champions for the next 5 seasons.
However, though,
See
can we keep in
Kyle
mind
Larson
this? Let's keep in mind this. When we go to Homestead, I believe if I am correct, the top 4 that go to Homestead, their points will still be reset to a specific point. The person who crosses the line becomes the champion.
Oh wow. So yeah, this can really be debated to this point. Like, holy cow. And so you could potentially eliminate 4th and 3rd if you can during the regular season. Sheesh. But yeah, I do not see Jimmy Johnson winning a championship for the next few years at least. Like, if he's here for another 5 years, then he could potentially, most likely, get his 8th championship. So he's not going to win it right now, but he'll be the new king of NASCAR before he retires if he stays for about 5 more years.
Okay. Here's what I believe. Jimmy Johnson, I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now. He's got many years left in the sport. That's what I think. I think we'll see him retire maybe even up to age 50. I believe, in my opinion, Jimmy Johnson, with the way he has been driving, I think he can make it up to 50 wins. What did I just say? No, derp. 100 wins. That's what I mean. I think he'll make 100 wins. He will. If probably can, he'll probably make 2nd all time on the NASCAR wins list. I'm going to say this right now. Richard Petty, he's got 200 wins. They call him the king of NASCAR. But no one in NASCAR has the nickname the GOAT, a.k.a. the greatest of all time. People could say the king and the GOAT are the same thing. Nah! Richard Petty's the king. Jimmy Johnson. 7 championships. Won 5 of them consecutively. And won 7 of them he won them 7 quicker than Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty. That's your GOAT right there.
He won them within 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, and he's a 7-time champ. Let's look at that, people. Look at that. All right, now we'll go to Michael.
All right, I am allowed to answer this.
Yes, you are allowed to answer this without bias. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So the first part of the question, I think it was championships. I absolutely 100% believe without any bias win a championship, his 8th championship. I definitely think he can do it. Now with wins, when did Jeff Gordon retire? How old was he? 44?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, 44.
And how old is Jimmy Johnson?
He is 41.
Okay. He's already won 3 races this year, correct?
Yes.
Last year he won 5 races. So going off of that, he's going to get 2 more wins this season. And then he'll get 5 wins for the next 3 consecutive seasons. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2. How many is that? 83 plus 17. How many is that?
100.
100. He's going to hit the 100 mark for wins.
That would be great.
Well, that's
good.
Well,
He'd be
that's if the trend continues.
Yeah,
I'm just going based off of that. I do think it is going to be 100, but I'm just going based off of that because I just think it's kind of funny how the math works out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question on discussion time. Let's talk about Ty Dillon and the 13 German racing team. They led 27 laps in the race on Sunday. Could they be considered an underdog team, and what could they improve moving forward? Jake, you're first.
That's kind of a tough question. I'm an underdog team, but I'd say they were kind of better off with. They're only better off with Ty Dillon because Ty does bring in. I guess you could say sponsorship, but we haven't seen other than Geico and Twisted Tea yet. But I'd imagine they had a lot more sponsors. Anyways, I guess you could see him as an underdog team because not a lot of people like, Ty Dillon that much. And yeah.
Okay. Cody.
Let's see. Jermaine Racing, at first it seems like if they chose a wrong driver for the 2017 season, only because why would you let go of Casey Mears? And why did Casey Mears not get a full-time ride in the Cup Series? Those two things, I have no clue why. Maybe it's because of Richard Childress trying to make some technical alliance. Like the 95 team wasn't good enough for you, so you moved on to the 13, or I don't know. If he's still having an alliance with the Levine family racing team, then he's probably going to become a powerhouse within the next 10 years. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. If he keeps up with these alliances, at least. So, moving on to the 13 team. I do see some talent on the 13 team. Maybe they're getting help from Richard Childress. That's probably why they're an underdog team right now. Because look at last year. Richard Childress Racing helped Michael McDowell. And look what McDowell did.
He got a top 10 at Homestead.
He got a top 10
Not
Daytona,
only
too.
that. Yeah, not only that, too. He got his best career finish in a whole bunch of racetracks, which helped him go full-time in 2017. And how did Michael McDowell done so far? You might as well call him one of the most improved drivers in terms of climbing up in positions. I mean, holy cow. Michael McDowell could be an underdog driver. So I'm going to say if they have the same cooperation with Jermaine Racing this season, I do expect Ty Dillon to have at least a few good finishes this season and probably become an underdog threat in a couple of these wins. But I don't really see Ty Dillon winning a race, but I do see him grabbing some top 10 finishes, probably some top 5s right on top of it. I mean, man, if Richard Childress Racing works with Jermaine like they do with Kellogg Racing in the Xfinity Series, Ty Dillon will be in good shape.
Okay. Here's what I believe. Ty Dillon, that 13 team, has been significantly improving. It's not just Ty Dillon, but the entire Jermaine Racing team. Ever since the transition from Toyotas, where they were part-time, to Fords when they went full-time, they improved in the Fords, but then when they went from Ford to Chevy, they've been doing much better since. Because, I mean, let's keep in mind this. Their best finish in 2013, their last season with Ford, was like a top 20 finish, and they even beat Jimmy Johnson because Johnson had that penalty at Dover. And then the next few years they've been improving in their Chevy-powered racing machines, which I believe RCR does have the engine fund for that. And expect them, you could see them as an underdog team at Dover once again. They could probably get a top 10 finish in the chase race, maybe play a spoiler. But expect them to do really good, maybe at Daytona and Talladega at those plate tracks we usually see. That's my opinion of it. Let's go to you, Michael.
I do think that 13 team is an underdog team. How they can improve on their organization, I don't really know. I guess just do what any other underdog team would do, and more fine-tuning, more practicing, stuff like that. Just the little things that can help improve their entire organization. I mean, obviously they're... How should I put this? I don't know. They were going to finish in the top 5 at Dover. It wasn't for that late race caution, right? And then even if they hadn't wrecked, they probably still would have finished in the top 5 because they were battling for the 4th position with Eric Jones, and then he lost it off of turn 2. So, I mean, they are an underdog team. It's not a team that you think about winning the race, being up front. Surprisingly, I made a joke about him winning the race last episode, and then he almost did. I don't know how that happened. That's fine, the king of predictions, I guess. But, I mean, like I said, not a team that you expect to be up front, but a team that is improving, and a team that I think everyone in NASCAR can root for.
Okay. Let's see. Did I forget Jake or no? I don't think I forgot Jake. I think I already did Jake.
No, you already did me.
Okay, just making sure. Alrighty, so let's talk about the loose tire situation we had at Dover between with Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, losing left rear tires. Most likely a 4-race suspension for crew chief Adam Stevens, and I don't know the crew chief is for the Truck Series 2019. But the question is, the penalty of a tire falling off, what does that show NASCAR and with their rules? Cody, you're first.
Okay, this is a very interesting and possibly controversial topic because this whole tire discussion has been happening for 2 or 3 years already, and it caused a whole bunch of crew chiefs and tire changers to be suspended from many, many races. No, I mean really, like about 10 crew chiefs got suspended in
Michael,
about
your mic is messed up.
2015, was it?
What?
All right, back to
What'd you say?
Your microphone was messed up a little bit. It's like really hearing like some like loud cut-ins, like an amp.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, back to what I was saying about the whole crew chief being suspended thing. It has gotten way out of hand, and last year actually improved. I think 3 Cup crew chiefs got suspended last year, if I am correct. Is it 3, 4? I don't know, but all I know is it's about half to how many got suspended in 2015. Again, if I get all this correct. Now, looking into this and Adam Stevens being suspended, we already know the AT team was close from winning a couple of races already, and they haven't had the best season. But this could get a little bit worse for Kyle Busch. But let's not make that official, because remember, Kurt Busch's crew chief got suspended before, and Kurt Busch actually won the race from Pocono. And guess where we're going this weekend?
Pocono
Pocono.
That's right.
and Texas.
So if Adam Stevens gets suspended, then Kyle Busch would probably have the best shot possible to winning that race, depending on who crew chief they let fill in for Adam Stevens. I'm pretty sure right after his crew chief gets suspended, Kyle Busch will probably end up winning that race. So I am going to take an interesting guess and say that Kyle Busch will probably have the most potential after having that loose tire at Dover, and he will be a legit contender, probably one of the best contenders, to win at Pocono only because, in an ironic twist, his crew chief gets suspended. Now, moving on to Chase Briscoe. Now, Briscoe, I did not see his tire being all that loose. I just saw him having problems with that tire. Now, I don't know how many races his crew chief would possibly be suspended for, but according to like the system they have, I won't be surprised if it's probably 2 races, 4, because that would probably be a little too strict on a truck crew chief. I mean, really. So Chase Briscoe will already probably might not do as good on top of other ARCA drivers because this will be their first time at Texas. And one of the big factors we talk about in determining contenders to either move on to the chase or win in the race is experience at a racetrack. And Chase Briscoe could have a disadvantage. Having his crew chief getting suspended would add an insult to injury to his weekend. So I think Chase Briscoe's performance might go down a bit if his crew chief gets suspended because we got Texas coming up and we got another track that he hasn't had experience in coming up. So Briscoe might not end pretty good for him during those weeks where his crew chief gets suspended. So I'm hoping their crew chiefs don't get suspended so we can just race happily pretty much with Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe. But we're going to have to wait and see tomorrow. And hopefully it does not spark any controversy like it has in the past.
Okay, I believe, in my opinion, that this rule that if you lose a tire, you get a 4-race suspension. This really does show that when NASCAR means you have to have all 5 lug nuts on the car, they really do mean all 5 lug nuts on the race car. Because we've been seeing many penalties with improperly installed lug nuts, and some of them not getting a penalty. Cough, cough. Kyle Busch in the All-Star race this year, where one of his lug nuts were loose. But yeah, you really need to have all 5 lug nuts on that race car, and if you do mess up and you do lose that wheel, then expect suspension, and then you'll go, boo. That's what I think.
What?
That's what,
Boo.
that's what I'm thinking. All right, Michael, you're up.
All right. So, can you repeat the question?
What does the penalty of a tire falling off show NASCAR and its rules?
Okay. By the way, the whole mic deal, I was just turning up my volume.
Oh, okay,
It was
gotcha.
me clicking it. What does it show about NASCAR and the rules? Well, obviously they're very strict, and I don't know exactly what the deal was with the truck race because I didn't get to watch it, and I didn't really know about it until just a few minutes ago when you mentioned it, Marty. And I only saw the incident with Kyle Busch because I missed that part. I missed that part live too. But heck, I don't know. I guess just keep all 5 lug nuts on the car so that doesn't happen, and you won't get penalized. But I think this whole thing with spending the crew chiefs for the tires falling off, like I think that's a little bit too far. But that's the rule, so I guess we just gotta roll with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Jake.
Well, it shows me that
Yeah,
NASCAR,
you're up.
Yeah, it shows me that NASCAR is strict, but it's also inconsistent as well.
Yeah, they still make bullcrap rules. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because like Marty mentioned earlier, the All-Star race where Kyle Busch had a loose lug nut, we could see it. There was a picture taken of the car, we could see it.
Oh,
Anyways.
well, with that, I actually know why that is. They didn't get a penalty for that, because if you remember, they brought them down pit road at the end of the 3rd stage to make sure all lug nuts were on, and people on Reddit were saying because they did that, they weren't going to check lug nuts after the race.
Okay.
So that's again inconsistency, but what do you expect from NASCAR?
Yeah, it's just inconsistent, and it seems like to me that lower teams are getting harsher penalties than bigger teams.
I don't know. If you're going to hand out one penalty to one driver, I don't care if they are Kyle Busch or Jimmy Johnson, you got to be consistent with your penalties. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, how inconsistent NASCAR is. Well, if they want to finally show some consistency, then hand out the same penalty.
Yeah, it's not just about the tire rule either. It's pretty much every rule. I mean, you remember Kansas and Martinsville in 2015 where Logano spun out Kenseth.
Yep.
And so Logano didn't get a penalty. Yeah, Kenseth wrecked Logano because payback.
And Brad wrecked him at Martinsville too. So that's kind of a whole Penske payback thing in my eyes. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, and then Matt Kenseth got like a 2-race suspension and got fined heavily for that incident. So Eric Jones had to step in, drive a 20 for 2 races.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So next question for you guys on discussion time. Ross Chastain had a great debut, finished 20th. How would you grade his performance? I'm going first. Definitely your first race and you finish in the 20th position for a low-funded team, A+ easily. I mean, we weren't expecting you to win the race. Just go out, have a good race, don't wreck the car, and we'll be happy. 20th position, running on the track. Amazing performance. That might have been the best performance for Premium Motorsports all season long, if I'm correct, with that 15 machine. A+ easily for Ross Chastain, and shout out to his sponsor, the Mellon team. Michael, you're up.
I think that Mellon team sponsor was from his dad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
All right, then it doesn't count.
Because I saw on Twitter, Brock Beard posted a photo saying, "Hey, and it is true. They were trying to go for Premium Motorsports' best performance. Their best performance going into Dover was 22nd, and then Brett Moffitt decides to respond to Brock Beard and say that's because his daddy pays for it.
Oh, because they were saying that he was trying to beat. Wait, did you say that he's trying to beat their best finish ever?
Yeah, it was trying to be the best finish for Premium Motorsports ever, and
Yeah.
they got it.
Yeah. How would I grade his performance? I think he did okay. I know that he got the number one finger thrown at him a lot during the race, which shows that you don't know what you're doing and you're just holding everybody up and you're being an idiot. You're not using your head. But,
Yeah.
he's a rookie. It was his first Cup race, but I guess 20th. That's fantastic for your first career race. What did Danica get? Like 36 or something like that?
Yeah, because she wrecked on lap 2.
And she could have avoided the wreck. All she had to do was hit the brake.
And take your hands off the wheel.
Yeah.
No, Rex and her have something in common. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. But I only had one problem with him that I saw during the race. It's that he was battling side by side with Cole Witt. They were doing their own little competition there. And Jimmy was catching Kyle Larson, and then he got held up and lost second to Kyle Larson because of those two. But they were racing.
Biased.
they were racing. Well, yeah, come on. I can be biased during the race. Like, come on.
I know. I'm just messing
but
with you.
I know that was just racing. That was for position. I kind of brushed it off because Jimmy didn't win the race, so it's all good.
Okay.
But I thought he did all right.
So a letter grade, what would you give him?
Oh, later grade, B+.
Alrighty, Jake.
I think what Brett Moffitt said on Twitter was kind of harsh, since there's even worse cases of daddy's money being thrown around.
It was shots fired. That's what I saw on Facebook.
Well, anyways, for grade, I would give him also an A+, and I would give it to one other driver that also made their debut at Dover this week. I think you all know him. Yeah, Ryan Sieg. And BK Equipment.
And BK Equipment. How about that?
Yeah.
If that was Corey LaJoy, he would have wrecked that machine, in my opinion.
Probably.
Yeah.
Finished 39th.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, Cody.
I am probably not going to give him an A+, but I am going to give him a grade somewhere around the A range. Because look at this. This is Premium Motorsports, and then Ross Chastain doing amazing. That is a very odd combination that turns out to be surprisingly good. And I was impressed by that guy. I tell you, JD Motorsports should open up a team in the Cup Series next season. TriStar did it. Now I think it's a good time for JD to do the same thing and have Ross Chastain run there full time. Because let me tell you something, they're going places. So I'm going to give Ross Chastain an A.
Okay. Alrighty, so the next question for you guys is just regarding Bubba Wallace. How do you guys think he'll do in the 43, and could this lead to a development driver deal with Richard Petty Motorsports? Michael, you're first.
Well, I am praying that he does great. He gets top 10 finishes. He shows what he can truly do in the Cup Series. Because for years, the years that he's driven for Roush Fenway Racing, they have not been good. They have been giving him terrible cars. They aren't fast. They don't handle well. And the year that the Roush finally improves, they're going to shut his team down. So I think this is his time to show what he can truly do, how much talent he actually has. We all know he has it, but he has to show it these next few weeks in that 43 car. I wish him the absolute best, and I think he's going to do fantastic.
Okay. Jake.
He's going to win the race and lap the whole field. No, I'm kidding.
That would be awesome.
That'd be like over 9,000 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. I feel like he has good talent, but unfortunately it's with equipment that's not the very best right now. If this was, say, 30 or 40 years ago, then the equipment wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
So you think Eric Almirola could have driven a race car when he was a little kid?
No, I mean like the equipment 30 or 40 years ago.
You know what I mean, right? I'm just messing with you.
Well, 30 or 40 years ago, Eric Almirola wasn't even a thing. So,
Yeah.
anyways, point.
Yeah.
Point being, it's not good equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are times where we've seen that equipment do good. And like Marcus Ambrose or back when Marcus Ambrose drove the 9.
Or at Daytona with in 2014, even though that was a rain delay race.
Yeah, still winning nonetheless. Anyways, we could see probably him doing good, at least probably a top 20 finish, I believe.
Okay. Let's go to Cody.
Sorry, what was the question again? Oh, Bubba Wallace, right.
Yeah.
So, Bubba Wallace driving the 43, making his first Cup start. I'm not really sure, but I bet he'll get used to the Cup car. Like, I'm pretty sure he tested out cars for Roush Fenway or Front Row already, I'm pretty sure. And since they were talking about the same manufacturer, I'm pretty sure Bubba Wallace will be ready for the test. Like, he'll probably not do as good as Regan Smith at first. Like, Pocono will pretty much be a warm-up to him. Like, I see Bubba Wallace finishing in the top 30 at Pocono. But then as the weeks go by, I see him doing a little bit better week by week by week. And hopefully by the end, he'll finish in the top 20 at least once before Eric Almirola comes back. And hoping that he does better on average, then Almirola, just so Richard Petty Motorsports could set up a second car finally after defunking their 44 car because Brian Scott retired and lack of sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta
Brian
say,
Scott wrecked all their cars.
Yeah.
oh geez. So yeah, I hope Bubba Wallace does better and he'll make Richard Petty Motorsports get their best finishes of the season. I wish him luck at Pocono, and hopefully he does really good during the time he subs for Almirola.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, guys, don't you think it's pretty funny that the best of friends in racing are going to be driving the 2 most famous numbers in our sport, 43 and 21?
Yeah.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah, that is.
Good for them, That's pretty cool, too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I believe Bubba's going to have a good day for his Cup debut. Yeah, I have to be right back as well. I'm going to play some announcements real quick because I got to look at something in the other room of our radio station. So I'll be back in like around 2 minutes. If there's sound, if there's like no sound, if there's dead air, I'm sorry. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys.
Well, I would like to say a hug and a kiss. It was kind of hectic for us this morning.
We're going to the museums as a family.
Gave her a call and say, thinking of it. And the kids, what have I done for my marriage today?
All right, I'm back. Motorsports 360, back in your life. I'm your new host, Jake Rogers. Okay, discussion. Okay.
I'm short tonight. I work during the day, so spending the day together is actually pretty big.
Yeah. I suppose I didn't yell at him for anything at all.
Made my wife laugh. That is a big plus for a marriage.
I'm back.
These commercials sound very depressing.
Your marriage today. Small changes can make a world of difference.
Sorry, I was
At foryourmarriage.org.
back. Motorsports 360, back in your life.
Turn it in the car.
Oh, hey, do you hear that?
Turn it in your house.
There it is again.
Turn it in your favorite place on campus.
Okay, what's going on?
Now you're 90.7 The Music FM in even more places with the TuneIn Radio app. Available for Apple and Android. Details at WGCCFM.com. WGCC.
Batavia's best music.
Now, commercial free all day on 90.7 FM in even more places with the TuneIn Radio app.
Listen on TuneIn Radio.
90.7 FM. The music.
And we are back here with Motorsports 360. So we have one more question on discussion time before we get to our predictions. Hang on, I'm just texting my advisor real quick. Is it labeled P1. Okay, so here is the next and final question on discussion time. It's about the IndyCar series. The doubleheader was great over the weekend, especially for Grant Rahal. He went from 15th to 6th. And wow, I just realized my microphone was turned off on the station. Don't worry, I'm still here. So, should IndyCar do more doubleheaders in the season after watching that performance of Grant Rahal going from 15th to 6th in the points in Detroit? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait, hang on. One. Hang on, let me this. Okay. Who went first last time?
I did.
Cody, you're up first.
What was the question?
Okay. The question is, should IndyCar do more doubleheaders in the season?
I don't watch IndyCar all that much, so I can't really make too much of a decision there. But from what I hear, there's 2 dual races, and both of those would be from Detroit and Watkins Glen. I'm not sure if they could do like a duels at Indianapolis and just have the second duel be the Indianapolis 500. Because that could probably be a real crowd pleaser if we had duels at Indianapolis. Just have a shorter version of the Indianapolis 500, maybe the Indianapolis 250, the day before the actual Indianapolis 500, just so we have 2 actual races, double the fun. And let me tell you something, folks, 750 miles around Indianapolis. Oh, man, just can't get much better than this unless you do 2 Indy 500s, but that would not be a very good idea. So I'm going to say, let's have dual races at Indianapolis, and let's have the Indy 250 go up first before having our annual Indianapolis 500, one of the gold jewels of autosports.
Alrighty. Here's what I believe. IndyCar actually used to do another doubleheader up in Toronto. Now it's just one single race. I would love to see more doubleheader races because they do act as kind of technically double points races. You know, Toronto used to do it. Texas actually used to do it back in 2011 when they did like a twin 275 matchup. And if we did doubleheaders, I would like to change it up. Back in Texas in 2011, the second race was actually determined by a random draw, similar to the selection show when the class was known as the Budweiser Shootout. I believe we could do it definitely at Belle Isle, maybe at Pocono, keep Long Beach the way it is, keep St. Petersburg as well. I think we could see it as well in Mid-Ohio. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. So what else are you guys thinking? Michael. Mr. Kelly. You there?
Yeah. Sorry, my mic was muted.
Oh, you're good.
I said like 20 things and my mic was muted. That's great. To be completely, I think that we should have more double headers. I know there's a saying that you can never have too much of a good thing, but I believe it's different for this situation because the double header, where is it, Detroit?
Yes.
The double header in Detroit, I mean, a prestigious race for the IndyCar series. It's something special. It's something different. It's something they don't do very often, just once a year. It's like the Indy 500. I mean, you're not going to run the Indy 500 3 times every season. I mean, then it's not special anymore, really.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. And finally, Jake.
I have to agree with Mike here and say, yeah, it can be tiring, but not if you like do it just once in a while. I mean, that can be good, but there's this thing called too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alrighty.
Well, also, you wouldn't want to like give out those double points and have double the races at those tracks, because then you would take away races from those tracks from other tracks. You know, if they add 2 races at Texas, they may take away Mid-Ohio. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's get to the predictions for this weekend. We have a total of 6 races to predict this weekend. Let's give you through the standings based on who is going to be picking. So I have the points lead with 48. Cody is currently second with 48. I have the tiebreaker because I finished in the higher position by 1 over Cody. Michael is third with 46. Jake is fourth with 41. And Kelvin, who's not here, has 16 at the
So
moment.
it's anybody's race.
Yeah.
Except for Calvin.
Yeah. So the order for predictions is going to be Jake, Michael, Cody, and then myself. The first 5 races we are predicting, you can pick the same driver, but once we get to the final race, you cannot pick that same driver. It's got to be all 4 different drivers. So we start things off with the ARCA Series. They are at Pocono this weekend at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday on FS1. The honorable entries for this weekend include, but not limited to, Brandon Jones. He is in the 8. Interesting here, Riley Herbst is not in this weekend in the 18. That's what I see as of right now. If I see it, I'll let you guys know. Gus Dean, usual in the 32. Terry, usual in the 52. Zane Smith, usual in the 55. Dalton Sargent, usual in the 77. Kyle Weatherman, 78. Ty Majeski's in the 99 for this weekend. That'll be interesting. They do have the 18 entered for this weekend, but the driver is to be announced, as is the 15. Let's see here. Okay. So yeah, the 18 is to be announced. It looks like Riley Herbst can't enter that weekend. I don't know why. But all right, let's just get to the predictions. So, Jake, you are first.
This might be a bit bold, but I'm gonna go with Ty Majeski in the 99.
Alrighty. Michael.
I'm going to go Brandon Jones. Because why not?
Okay. Cody.
I am probably gonna go with Ty Majeski. I wish Ryan Reed would have entered to this race, otherwise I would have chosen him. But I'm gonna say Ty Majeski for this one.
Okay. You guys, I can't believe you guys. I mean, even though that you guys haven't even picked the points leader yet, and though someone else may probably win, you guys haven't even picked the points leader. Austin Terrio with the win this weekend.
Because he's not going to win. Brandon Jones is going to win.
No, Brandon Jones is not going to win.
Oh, Ty Majeski's gonna win.
No, Brandon Jones is
Austin Terrio. Okay. All right.
Brandon Jones.
Immediately after the ARCA
Jimmy
race.
Johnson.
All right. Immediately after the ARCA race at Pocono, we have the Trek Series race on at Texas at 8 o'clock on FS1. We actually have 26 trucks entered for this weekend. If I am correct, that is the smallest amount we've had in a truck race.
In a long time.
Yeah, in a long time, as Michael once said. So, Justin Haley in the 24. Let's see here. Good news. There are no bushwhackers in the field for this race. Thank goodness.
That's where the 6 cars came from. The bushwhackers.
Yeah. So you guys are yeah. So Myatt Snyder's in the 51 as well for this weekend. Let's see who else. Basically your usual drivers, and then add some of the 18-year-old drivers into that. Jake, who's your pick?
My pick, I'm gonna go with Matt Crafton.
Michael, who's your pick?
Well, I was thinking about it. Listening to Elijah Gordon's talk show yesterday. Aren't the stages for Texas going to be 50, 50, 60?
I don't know that.
Or is that going to be for the Cup race?
I don't know.
That may be for the Cup race. But I feel like Texas in the past has been one of those tracks where strategy has been very important, and there have been people won on field mileage. I don't really remember, but since I can't remember, I'm just going to go with the most obvious choice here and go with Christopher Bell.
Okay. Cody.
I've said this in the NRLA podcast yesterday, and I'm going to say it tonight. Christopher Bell will end up winning the Texas race.
Okay. I'm going to pick the driver with the highest average finish at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Track Series since February 2015. And that driver is Matt Crafton with the win.
Yeah.
Team Jake.
Yeah.
All right, then we get to the Xfinity Series race at Pocono, the drivers only broadcast at 1
Let me
o'clock.
guess. There's 8 bushwhackers in there.
Let's take a look. That's 1 o'clock, and that's on Fox. How many bushwhackers are in the field? Good
8.
question, Jake. We have Paul Menard. There's 1. We have Ty Dillon. There's 2. We have, is Ross Chastain entered this weekend or no? I don't think he is for the Cup
You
Series.
can't call him a bushwhacker, though, can you?
He's not in it. He's not in it.
No, he's not in the Cup race.
Is Timmy Hill in it in the 66? No. Thank goodness. That's good. Okay. Daniel Suarez. There's 3. Okay. Oh, Kyle Benjamin's in the 20 this weekend, even though he doesn't count. Brad Keselowski. There's 4. Do they put Ryan Sieg in the 83? Nope, they don't. Let's see here. Kyle Larson. There's 5. Is Joey Gase entered this weekend? No. Still 5. We still have 5. I don't think I see a 75 in this weekend. Nope. Not for Brendan Gaughan. I believe, yeah, only 5 drivers. 5 drivers.
I think it's because some of them are commentating.
Yeah.
In the booth.
Yeah, you don't see a 41 because he's up and doing play-by-play.
No 12.
No 12. Yeah.
You should have someone from Brad Keselowski.
You want to know what's really funny, by the way, about that drivers only broadcast coming up this weekend? Danica and Denny are in the Hollywood Hotel doing the pre-race show.
Poor Ricky. Poor Ricky.
Oh,
No,
boy.
it's
I wonder how that's
Danica
gonna
and
turn
Denny,
out.
though. Remember 2015?
I know. I'm saying poor Ricky, though. Because, you know, Ricky and Danica are together. And,
We know.
you know,
We don't have to
Danica and
forget.
Denny are in the hotel together and not Ricky and Danica.
If they put Danica and Ricky in the hotel together, I don't know what would have happened.
Don't go to the cameras.
Yes,
Not
don't
5
go to the camera. Sorry, we'll
Okay.
take a 5-minute break while these guys are finishing whatever they're doing.
Oh yeah, we have some people in the chat, by the way. Hi, Brad Stover. Hello, Elijah Gordon. You are right. You're on time, buddy. We're not done yet.
And we are not done.
Okay, so
He's
Jake,
not on
you're
time. He's not late. Everyone else is simply early.
yeah. All right. So Jake.
Okay. For Xfinity, let's see. I have to go with Justin Allgaier.
Okay. Michael.
Well, you know what? Jake is going with an Xfinity regular, so I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to be sad to see him go, but we are going to have tears of joy when he wins this weekend. Bubba Wallace gets his first career win.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cody. Had to think about that for a moment.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I am going to go to the new Kyle Busch.
Kyle
the
Benjamin.
nicer, the Chevrolet, and will probably soon become the biggest bushwhacker 2017, Mr. Kyle Larson.
Oh.
How's he
Okay.
know Mr. Kyle Busch?
Okay. Here's my question for you guys. All right, give me a list of all the NASCAR drivers, which is Cup, Xfinity, and Camping World Truck Series, who won at Pocono this year.
This year?
Not this year, last year. Sorry, Derek.
Chris Buescher.
Keep
That's
going.
one. Kurt Busch.
Keep going.
That's
Okay.
all.
Keep-
I can't remember the
Keep
other
going.
ones.
Keep going.
Kyle Busch.
Keep going.
Eric
going.
Jones.
Keep going. Keep going.
I have no clue. Ryan Reed.
Give you a hint.
Suarez.
Give you a hint. Give you a hint. Rookie of the year.
Chase Elliott?
Keep going.
What?
Rookie of the year.
Ryan Blaney.
Keep going.
Ty
For the
Dillon.
love of people, Daniel
Oh
Suarez.
my goodness! You're not forgetting the other rookie, the Truck Series rookie, William Byron.
William Byron?
William Byron.
He won at Pocono in the Truck Series, fellas,
Oh, yeah, I was at that race.
and he gets his first win.
I was at that race.
So I'm picking William Byron to get the win.
That shows his teammate. All right. All
Now
right.
we
everyone.
get
I'm going
now
to
we
give my
get-
diecast.
Nope, we're not done yet. We got to the IndyCar Series race at Texas now, at 8:30 p.m. on NBCSN on a Saturday night. Jake, as he comes back, your first pick for the Indy race?
I am back with my diecast.
IndyCar picks.
Oh, IndyCar picks. Okay. IndyCar. I'm just going to choose some at random. Willpower.
Okay. Michael.
Where are they this weekend?
Texas. We got the new layout.
Oh. Graham Rahal goes 3 in a row.
And he did win at Texas last year. We'll mention that. Cody.
I am going to go with a driver who had a lot of luck last season, Simon Pagenaud.
Okay. Hey, Michael, I got a question for you. Who did Graham Rahal beat in a photo finish last year at Texas?
Scott Dixon.
No. Hint, Dancing with the Stars.
Helio?
That does not help.
No, not
That
Elliot.
does not help.
It should help.
sorry,
You should have
Marty.
watched it.
I'm sorry, Marty. That does not help.
Graham Rahal, before he was waving his hand out, barely beat James Hinchcliffe. Hinch wins at Texas. Now we get to the Formula One race, the Montreal Grand Prix at 2 o'clock on NBC on a Saturday afternoon. Jake, your first pick.
Lewis Hamilton.
Michael.
Lewis Hamilton.
Jake.
As long as he doesn't qualify 13th.
Cody.
Oh, boy. Not surprisingly, Lewis Hamilton.
I'm picking Lewis Hamilton as well.
Wow. Is that the first time all 4 of us have picked
Yeah,
the same
I
driver?
think so, actually. Yeah. Hamilton is really good at Canada. We'll mention that.
Yeah, I know.
Now
That's
we
why I
get to
picked
the
him.
featured race. Remember, you cannot pick the same driver. The Cup Series race at Pocono at 3 o'clock on FS1. Get your diecast ready. Jake, I know you have your diecast ready.
Yes.
Your pick.
I'm going to get my
Alright.
camera ready on top of my diecast so I don't screw up for the 3rd week in a row.
Okay, guys. I want you to tell you something. Who was once points leader this year? Who
Cody
was
left the call instead of turning on the camera.
That's the wrong button.
That's for our people on YouTube, by the way.
Okay. Anyways, who was the points leader during the season
Kurt Busch.
Which one?
in the Cup Series? Who was
Kurt
the
Busch.
points leader?
Kurt Busch.
It's not
Was-
Kurt Busch.
Are you kidding me? Chase.
It's not Chase. He is a young gun, but he's not Chase. And
Larson.
it is Larson. Kyle Larson.
Well, I
Win.
guess scratch him out. Michael.
All right. Well, I'm currently standing in my living room, looking at my diecast right here, because I forgot to pick one of them. So now I have to kind of go on the fly and talk a bunch of gibberish until I decide who I want to pick. I am going to go with someone out of a stable who has not won yet this year.
Ah,
as
he's
Cody
back.
returns.
Yay.
I am ready to do my predictions.
He's got his
Oh,
camera
how about the
outside.
predictions
Cody,
so far?
Cody, did you press the wrong button?
No, I did not. Why? Am I invisible?
No, you
No.
left. You
left.
left. You were gone.
I left just so I can get my camera prepared.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
All right, Michael, your pick.
Okay.
Oh, wow. This is not surprising. I try to press
this is-
back.
This goes to chat. I don't think Chris Buescher will win.
Okay.
Pocono.
never mind.
No,
was
I don't
wrong.
think Chris Buescher is going to win. Like I said, I'm going to go out of a stable that hasn't won yet. I think we're all surprised that they haven't won yet, except for the All-Star race
No.
with Kyle Busch.
Don't pick it. No.
But you
No.
know,
Don't. No.
Kyle
No.
Busch isn't going to win.
Don't pick it.
Kyle Busch isn't going to win.
Good then.
You know why? You know why? You know why, Marty? Because Denny. Whoa, that got dark. Here we go.
No. Dang it.
Denny Hamlin.
Dang it.
Denny.
Dang it.
It's gonna get it done
Come
for Joe
on,
Gibbs Racing
Michael.
this weekend.
Come on. Dang it, Michael. I hate you, Michael. You're going to pick my surprise
Aw.
pick.
He hates me.
Yes, I do. I really
Oh,
do.
you left.
Up, I'm back. So I guess he chose Kyle Busch.
No, he chose Denny Hamlin.
Oh, Denny Hamlin. Okay. So here is the thing. Remember when we said about that driver who's gonna make his debut and whatnot? Well, let's see. Ross Chastain made his debut. He came in 20th. So if we take that to proportion, then that means, and of course I need to push my face back. There you go. Then I'm pretty sure if it becomes proportional, then Bubba Wallace is gonna win. Nope. Okay, never mind. Let's take a take two, folks. How about the driver who chances are is going to get a screw cheese suspended? He'll do the same thing that his brother did last year, Mr. Crybaby. Nope. Yep, I tricked you, Marty. I tricked you. I was trying to be sure that if just in case Nathan or Calvin try to come in, they would not take the pick I said yesterday. So I tricked you, Marty. Woo! So here's my real pick to who's gonna win this race. This guy has won Pocono before, and he is proving to be the most dominating Toyota in 2017.
Martin
It
Truex
is
Jr.
none other than Martin Truex Jr.
Okay.
We can't see the
Yep.
diecast.
Yeah.
I
Oh, we
saw
see
it.
it now.
Oh!
We see it. We see it. We see it.
We see it.
We see it. We
Oh,
see
you
it.
see it now?
We see
Oh,
your
okay,
face
that's
too,
good,
Cody.
That's good.
We see your face too.
Cody, smart face reveal.
Face reveal.
That was my mistake.
Alrighty. Now,
That was by mistake. Here, finger review.
Finger review.
now I gotta think.
Yeah.
Now I gotta think because that Michael decided to pick the driver that I wanted to pick.
He said he hates me, so
Darn
I left
it.
the call.
Darn it.
Okay.
Okay, boys. Okay.
Edwin
So,
Mendez says, you guys should do who will finish last. Is Corey LaJoy in this race?
okay,
Carl Long.
gentlemen.
Carl.
Okay, so this may be a little shocker for you people, okay? But I'm looking at the list of driver averages at Pocono Raceway. This driver has an average finish of 5.67. And this driver, ever since 2015 at this track, he has 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, has led 4 laps, despite the fact his average finish is 5.67. His highest finish, 2nd. His lowest finish, 11. And it's a stunner for you folks. It's an underdog pick. I'm going to take a risk. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet for Junior Nation, baby! Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins it at Pocono. He swept it.
He's gonna wreck out now.
Uh,
Junior Nation. Marty is gonna. Oh, dang it! What's the phrase?
he's going to lose.
He's got.
Junior is gonna wreck this weekend, and Marty is gonna become public enemy number 1.
Oh my gosh. And
Oh,
he'll lose the
goodness.
points lead to either me or Michael.
And then Denny Hamlin's going to wreck, and then Michael will be public enemy number 2.
So let's recap. Let's recap the picks for you.
Yeah,
guys.
but you know what? You know what, Jake? If Martin Truex Jr. Wrecks out, you're gonna be Kamikaze Games number 1 enemy.
So let's recap the picks here. Jake has Kyle Larson. Mike has this guy, Denny Hamlin. Cody has Martin Truex Jr., and I'm going with the upset pick, Dale Jr. with the victory.
Did you just happen to have those cards with you?
Yes. And I even had more in case. Look at this. If I can find it. Look at that. I even had more.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's definitely
Wow.
there's definitely no way we could have taken all of them.
Yeah, no way. But hey, who knows what can happen. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Motorsports 360. Can't say any sponsors because this is a commercial-free station, sadly. So we'll be doing this again next week, same time, same place, 8 Eastern time. For Jake Rogers, Cody Smart, Michael Kelly, this is Murray Sakala saying so long. We will see you guys next week. Say bye, everybody.
Adios.
Someday.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Die.
And a Dodge.
In a Dodge.
In a Dodge.